the Whale Capper and Snice, aka Sizzle. What it was. Hello guys, welcome to the show.
Natalie, what is up?
Hello.
Happy Friday. I'm very excited. It's Friday. We've got the Champions League final tomorrow. And Snice.
Ooh.
How are you, Snice?
Doing better today.
Ooh, I
it's
can't hear
Friday,
him.
like you said.
It's not.
Hello?
It's our end. Don't worry. It's a common. It happens all the time. I'm getting good at lip reading,
all right.
though.
So I was just saying I'm doing well.
Still
Friday
muted.
is here.
Oh, I'm getting a hold on a minute hand. Well, I can talk to Whale Capper because you're not muted at the moment, Whale Capper. The French Open. So obviously we're heading into the weekend now. How are your bets doing? We've had a few upsets, haven't we, now on the women's side?
Yep. The women's side is becoming a little bit more interesting, a little bit more wide open. It's been more wide open and more interesting from the very beginning here. A lot more women with a reasonable chance. I think Halep is still showing she's the class of the tournament. Although, Osaka is proven to be tough to beat.
Yes.
Serena might be getting into a little bit of shape.
And that Osaka bet was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Osaka bet was a banger. That one was a banger. But Osaka is showing her ability to be resilient. Even if things aren't going her way in a match, even if she's not giving us her best form from beginning to end, her ability to kind of be resilient and outlast her opponents is pretty spectacular. In these third sets, she just doesn't look touchable. And I would say that they're giving her a little bit more respect on the line for her next round's match here, but I think there's still value on it. I made it about minus 300 or so, and I'm seeing it in the high minus 200. So I think she makes sense as a parlay leg. I'm going to parlay her with Serena Williams and Madison Keys tomorrow. That's my favorite look on the women's side. I think that's a beauty of a treble. Gets you into plus money odds, and I think we're going to start to see the class of the women's field kind of distance themselves in round 3 and round 4 here as we head into the later stages of this tournament. We're starting to see kind of a separation. The women who have come on and upset and surprised and are here for the first time, up against women who have done well in this tournament in years past. I think they're going to have a tough time here in the next couple rounds. So I think you're going to start seeing a little bit of settling down of the field and some of the favorites cash over the next couple rounds on the women's side. On the men's side, not as obvious.
Oh yeah,
a little more drama. There should be some upsets tomorrow. Yeah, I think we should see some upsets. I think I know Snice, and I'm curious what Snice has for the Del Potro match tomorrow. I know you were high on Thompson. I thought Karlovic was going to be able to defend his serve well, but Thompson picked apart Karlovic's serve. No freaking problem, even though we felt like the court's been playing a little faster, but Thompson had no problem with that serve. And he takes on Del Potro now, who had to go 5 sets and maybe a little gassed, maybe a little tired. So what do you think, Snice?
All right. Hello. Am I being heard?
You are being heard. Everyone can hear you but me when I can't hear you, by the way. Everyone's like, we can hear him.
Okay.
Yes, it's just me. But welcome. And what do you think about the Del Potro match?
That's an interesting match, actually. And as Whale said, I was high on Thompson yesterday, and he did go through and break down that Dr. Evo serve. And Del Potro had a knee complaint, which is the real concern because that's the injury he's been having struggles with, and that's kept him out of action for a long time now. And he was forced to go 5 sets, which he definitely would not have wanted versus the Japanese battler. But looking at this match, I don't think he will have any problems, actually, if he is fit enough. That is a big if. If his knee hold-ups, he has... he's not like Karlovic, because he can still move really well across the court. He has thundering ground strokes, both on the forehand and even the backhand wing. And he's got the huge serve. And Thompson doesn't really have any weapons. He's not been this deep into a Grand Slam tournament before. and I think running into a very accomplished opponent at this stage will be tough for him. So as long as the putter's knee holds up, I would say he wins this in straight sets.
What do you think about that, Whale?
The conditional part about his knee holding up is what's got me kind of eyeing the dog price here. Possibility that all of the running around and Thompson kind of playing exactly the same kind of card, make him move, just try to grind him down, just try to get him into some longer sets than he wants to play. Try to steal. If he can steal an early set, then Thompson's very alive in that match, because then he can kind of, dictate a little bit more. So sets 2 and 3, so I guess my look would be probably playing Thompson on the money line small, expecting that he's got a fighter's chance, a puncher's chance, as your last guest mentioned in the UFC. He's got a puncher's chance, but he's not my favorite of the dogs tomorrow. Martin Klizan is going up against Karen Khachanov of Russia. Khachanov is a kind of a favorite of the betting community. He's had a couple of nice results in his career. He's an up-and-coming guy, but he's dealing with back issues as well. And he lacked a lot of power in his last match that we saw. That is characteristic of when he's doing good. It is because he's being aggressive. It's because he's hitting with power. And if he's limited at all with his back injury, then Martin Klizan has a very, very good shot. Klizan's an underrated player. Overall, he's a little bit of a scatterbrain, which maybe makes things a little tough to want to support him vigorously. But he's got a nice dog price as well, and I think one of those two gets home, and they're both in the plus 250 range. So, should make for some fun drama on the men's side tomorrow.
Interesting stuff. Who, Snice, you went head to head with Whale. Who won?
Nice was
I won.
all over.
Did you win?
It wasn't really
Congratulations.
competitive.
I wrote it down. And I
No,
lost
it was a landslide victory this time. So
what was it?
It was
What did you
a-
say? It was a landslide.
It was a landslide, in my opinion. I didn't think it was a competitive match. I thought Karlovic could have lost in straight sets. He did not look competitive at all. His serve didn't have the same bite that it usually does. And granted, a lot of why I thought it was he had value is we saw in the first couple rounds that the surface was playing a little faster than it usually does. Roland Garros for clay in general is among the slower of the clay courts, which completely neutralizes when you really only have one weapon, which is your serve. So that would completely neutralize things for a player like Karlovic. But we saw, it was playing a little bit faster over the first couple days. Now that's come back quite a lot, I feel like, in the last couple days. So they're doing something better job of conditioning the clay, getting it back to sort of its slower characteristics, I guess. That should kind of, if you see guys who are kind of more typical clay specialists, I think they're worth a closer look in these next couple rounds.
Okay. All right. I'm just looking at some of the odds of obviously Simona Halep. She's dropped now 3.75. We've got Anessa, a regular viewer of ours, on the chat here. She's liking Simona Halep. Obviously managerless, doesn't seem to be causing her too many problems. Snice, do you think, but is she the woman to watch at this point? Although, like we were saying as well, Osaka is looking strong.
I would still say that Simona Halep is indeed the woman to beat. She's still a fantastic mover. She has everything that she needs in order to defend her title here. But as you said, she is managerless, and Naomi Osaka has been catching some serious steam. She came back from a set and a breakdown to Azarenka in her previous match, and she's now prolonged her Grand Slam winning streak to 16 matches. And I think that's the most anyone. It's close up there in the record books. So she is on fire, and I wouldn't blame anyone that would want to put in an Osaka outright, because I think it's either Osaka or Halep that goes to the final there. And I think she's available right now at around 650 plus 550, somewhere around there, price-wise. So if you feel that Simona Halep might be in danger, then Osaka is definitely the way to go there. But I'm sticking still with Halep.
All right. So guys, let us recap here. Obviously, we're going to be back on Monday, but let us recap the bets that you like for the next couple of matches here. Snice, start us off, men's and women's. What are your favourite bets that you've got on your cards?
Favorite bet on the men's side is when it goes off tomorrow. It's Fabio Fognini that faces off against Roberto Bautista Agut. And Fabio Fognini, he didn't look interested in playing tennis to start off the year. He was on a serious losing streak, and you were wondering where his career was going. But then from out of nowhere, really, he just went and won the entire Monte Carlo Masters, beating Rafa Nadal in the semifinals. And he's looked good here in Paris. And he's going to face off against a Spaniard, one of the few Spaniards who don't like playing on clay that much. Bautista Agut is a flat hitter, and he hasn't done much on clay this year. And another big part here is that Fognini owns him in the head-to-head matchups. He's 7-3, 3-1 on clay, and his superior shot making is just one that Bautista Agut hasn't found an answer to. So I'm on Fognini to win there. It's priced at 1.83 or minus 117.
Nice. And Whale Capper, you seem to really like that one. Is that your play as well? You guys stand united this time?
Yes, we do. I was actually, honestly, like the price was so enticing. It was one of those like, is there something I don't know? Because when I handicapped that match, I would have made him about a minus 150 to a minus 200, depending on kind of how the match plays out, really. But it's surprising that you're getting that good of a value on him. People think he may not have the patience, may not have the intensity that you need to outlast a guy like Roberto Bautista Agut, who can really kind of just. He's like a wall, right? Like he's tough you have to beat him. You have to hit a winning shot to beat him. But we know Fognini can do that. And he looked his last match out. He was playing with his opponent. He was playing with his food. He could have won that in straight sets in style. But he was kind of like, we'll give the fans a little bit of a show here. And I don't think that the dominance that he has in his arsenal right now and his level that he's capable of was reflected in what we've seen from him in this tournament, which I think provides value on this line against RBA. So the Italian get through to the round 4, buddy. And really, I really want to see him make the quarterfinals. I would really, really like to see. Well, actually, we're gonna see some fascinating drama play out in that first quarter. There's going to be some great players who are alive for the round 4 and for the quarterfinals there. That's the most interesting part of the draw, and I don't think it's close. Also in that quarter of the draw, I like 2 overs. I like an over in the Zverev-Lajovic match. That looks like a very competitive match to me. Last time we saw these guys play on clay, they went 5 sets. Lajovic is playing better now than he was then. Zverev always has the confidence issue. He's ready to melt down at any moment. And so I would expect that match to go a little bit longer than the bookmakers expect it, given the money line prices. Lajovic is a live dog too. I don't know that he's going to get the upset, but he's going to scare the hell out of Zverev if I have anything to say about it. And then in the Coric-Struff match, Coric is a fine clay player. I don't love him on this slow of a clay surface personally. He dominated Struff in Madrid last year when they went head-to-head. Struff was not physically right at that time. He is in much better physical shape now than he was at that time. And so I think you're getting a little bit of value on Struff in this matchup. And that one I would expect to go 4 or 5 sets as well. So that's another over I like a lot. And then I'm staying away from the team match. He should handle business relatively easily, but I'm not loving his form right now. I would really like to see him put a dominant performance together here, start to build a little bit of momentum, start to build a little bit of confidence, because if he's playing like this when he comes up against guys like Del Potro or Djokovic in the next couple rounds, he's going to be dead meat. And I would like to see him at least make the finals so I can extract a little value out of the future that I got from a couple weeks ago. So should be fun. But that's about it for the round 4 tomorrow, or for round 3 tomorrow.
Round three for tomorrow. But any on the women's side?
Only play I got going on the women's side is the three leg the treble.
Yeah.
The treble.
Yeah.
Serena, Osaka, and Keys.
Yeah.
All 3 are a class above their opponent and have been lined as such, with the exception of they should probably all be in the minus 500 300 to 500 range, and yet you have Osaka at about minus 280 and Keys is about minus 300. So I think those three all get through, and they make a nice treble if you put them all together.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a very lovely treble indeed. Women's bets here, round 3. What are you looking at, Snice?
Okay, so real quickly, I didn't have time to run through my second men's bet, and I've gone with Gael Monfils to win in straight sets versus Antoine Hoang, because Monfils has always been a player that's had two primary problems in his career. It's been his health and it's been his focus, and right now both are looking very good. He's gotten a new coach in Liam Smith, and that's elevated his level by several levels, and he's also got a new girlfriend in Elina Svitolina, and that might have helped him go a little bit better on court. Hoang didn't have a single ATP clay match before this tournament, and he's made the most of it as wildcard with upsets over both Zumhur and Verdasco. But Monfils is a step above him here, so I think he wins in straights. And then going over to the women's, I got my ass kicked going against young American Amanda Anisimova. I thought Sabalenka would win against her in the last round, and that did not turn out to be the case. She just found no answers for Anisimova's power game, and she just panicked. Anisimova played really well in that match, and she's going to face an opponent in Irina Camelia-Begu who doesn't have that sort of firepower that Sabalenka has. So I think just straight up, she'll just overpower her, hit her off the court, and I don't think it's going to be close. So I've gone ahead and bet Anisimova minus 3.5 games, and you can get that at 1.77 or minus 130. And then finally, I've gone with the Whale here, but I've gone a little bit riskier, so to speak. I've gone with Osaka minus 4.5 games at 1.87 or minus 115. And like we talked about, she's just shown the mark of a champion coming down from dangerous positions against Azarenka, even in her first match. And I was pretty low on her on clay because she hasn't really impressed, but she's really played herself into form. And Sinagova has been improving as the clay season has gone along, but I don't really think that she'll be able to hold up to the power of Osaka in this one.
All right.
Those are the bets that I have on the women's side.
Wonderful stuff. Do you have any? Because I have to say that I really like the sound of Whale Capper's treble bet there. What do you think of that one? Will you be putting a unit on it?
Oh, definitely. That was a great look, and I will be tailing that one. And also his 2 overs on the men's side are great looks as well, especially the Zverev one. The curse is real. He can't win. He won in straight sets against Ymer, but I don't think it happens again. It'll go 5 sets most likely, like it did last year in this very tournament. So yeah, definitely some great looks there.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And it's nice. I'm actually just on your Twitter page as well. You post your. It looks like you're posting all your plays here, and then obviously keeping a record of how you're doing. I know Whale Capper as well does the same, plus many other sports. Can you believe it? He's also into women's World Cup football. There is no end to your abilities, Whale Capper. So at Snize Master, SNIZE Master, at Whale_Capper, 2 fantastic tennis tipsters and people in general. Thank you very much, boys. Good luck. I'll see you on Monday.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful weekend.